Once upon a long time ago, the spiritual energy of heaven and earth gave birth to the Chaos Pearl. Feeding off the sun and moon, its power grew at an unstoppable rate. The mixed energy it absorbed makes it unable to distinguish between good and evil. So the Supreme Lord of Heaven sends Taya and his brother Shen to put a stop to the chaos. However, the Chaos Pearl is so powerful that they are no match for it, even working together. In the end, it is subdued by the Supreme Lord himself, who uses magical power to divide the Chaos Pearl into the Spirit Pearl and the Demon Pill. He gives the Spirit Pearl and the Demon Pill to Taya to watch over and entrusts him a secret task. This makes Shen so jealous. He thinks that it must be his monster background that makes his master distrust him, so he comes up with a plot. Taya comes to the earth as required and finds Jing and his wife. It turns out that the Supreme Lord regards Jing as the chosen one, so he decides to reincarnate the Spirit Pearl into his son. Jing's wife, Lady Yin, has been pregnant for 3 years. On the day when Niza is about to be born, all people in Shentang Pass come to his residence for celebrating. After calculating, Taya thinks it is the time, so he prepares to open the altar to reincarnate the Spirit Pearl. However, just when everything goes well, Shen uses a spell to control a servant to steal the Spirit Pearl, making the Demon Pill that should have been destroyed reincarnate as Jing's son. With the completion of the whole process, the red light with blood envelopes the house, and all is too late. Lady Yin gives birth to a big meatball. When the meatball falls to the ground, it turns into a child wrapped in flames. He is our lead, Niza. Niza destroys everything he can see. At this time, Taya quickly takes out Quinkun Hoop to seal him and wants to kill Niza before he grows up. But Lady Yin rushes out and blocks Niza with her body. Perhaps feeling the warm maternal love, Niza gradually contains the demonic nature in his body. Although Taya decides to spare Niza, the Supreme Lord has already put a curse on the Demon Pill, which means that Niza will have only 3 years to live. In order to save his son, Jing decides to go to heaven with Taya to find the Supreme Lord. However, the Supreme Lord has entered a realm beyond the 3 worlds and will not come out in a short time. All Jing can do now is to spend more time with his son. One day in heaven is a year on the earth. During the time when they are in heaven, Niza has grown up a lot. However, all the people in town are afraid of Niza, so Lady Yin has to lock him up at home. One day when his mother is not at home, Niza sneaks out and scares people to run away to all directions, but some who are bold pluck up courage to call Niza a demon. To Niza, this word is like a sharp knife inserted into his heart. He almost loses his mind after hearing it. Fortunately, Taya arrives in time, so a disaster doesn't occur. The next day, Taya takes Niza to another world with a treasure. He teaches Niza a disguising spell, then goes to sleep peacefully and let Niza practice alone. But to his surprise, Niza masters the spell that cost him 6 months in just 1 day, and Niza even uses the spell to trick him. Taya thinks that Niza is very talented, so he decides to accept him as an apprentice and teach him magic to banish demons and help others. Hearing that Taya wants him to help others, Niza refuses his offer. In fact, Niza is a good-hearted child, but that people in town have been regarding him as a demon since his birth distresses Niza very much. Looking at the frustrated Niza, who always wants to be a hero, Jing makes a lie that the reason why people are so afraid of him is because he is actually the reincarnation of the Spirit Pearl and destined to be people's savior. Niza totally believes it and decides to practice his skills to earn back people's trust. 2 years later, Niza meets Taya's expectation and has acquired a lot of skills in that world, but he hasn't gotten rid of his demonic nature. If he goes out like this, he will probably harm many innocent people. Therefore, Jing decides to let Niza stay there to focus on meditation, but Niza ignores him and runs out directly. On the other side, a water demon who is sick of seafood goes to the land to find something else to eat. Unfortunately, it comes across Niza, who has just returned. Knowing that it is no match for Niza, the demon kidnaps a little girl and runs away. Niza is so eager to do good deeds that he destroys many buildings when chasing after the demon, but even so, he still fails to catch up with it. Seeing the demon is going to flee into the sea, Niza feels very anxious. But in the flash, the waving sea freezes into an endless ice surface. A man in white back to Sunshine lands slowly from the air. He is very powerful and uses only a few seconds to save the girl from the demon. Just as he is going to end the life of the demon, Niza stops him. Niza doesn't want him to take credit, so he fights with the man. Then he tears off the mask covering the man's face, revealing the dragon horns on his head. But Niza doesn't notice that when they are fighting, the demon spews countless bubbles floating in the air. If they touch the bubbles, their body will be petrified. But before the demon can react, the man with horns rushes out like an arrow, dodging all the bubbles and gives a punch on the demon's stomach, saving the girl out. But the saliva of the demon can also petrify people. At this critical point, Niza comes up with a good idea. He uses the petrified man as a weapon to block bubbles and defeats the demon, who then gives out the antidote obediently. After being rescued, the man and the girl thank Niza sincerely, which makes Niza feel warm in his heart. In the sunset, Niza plays Jianzi with the man. This is the first time in his life to have a friend. Niza can't help crying. Before leaving, the man gives Niza a conch and tells him that whenever the conch sounds, he will show up from everywhere. However, the happy times always don't last long. Townsfolk soon come to the seashore with weapons. Niza is no different from a demon in their eyes. They keep calling him Demon, which deeply hurts Niza's feelings. He decides to teach them a lesson. Fortunately, Niza restricts himself to killing anyone. Taya and Niza's parents arrive after getting the news and stop the angry Niza. Jing touches Niza's palm, on which still has the residue of the demon, so he believes that his son is not lying. But now, no one else believes Niza, because prejudice in people's mind is like a mountain that cannot be moved easily. On the other side, after departing Niza, the man returns home in the deep sea. His name is Ao Bing, the son of the Dragon King. Ao Bing tells his father about his new friend, but what his father says next frustrates him very much. In order to free all dragons and change their fate as monsters, the Dragon King chooses to cooperate with Shen and stole the Spirit Pearl. Ao Bing is actually the reincarnation of Spirit Pearl, and Niza is his sworn rival. On the other side, Niza feels very excited for his birthday is coming, and his parents promise him a grand birthday party. Niza doesn't care about others, but Ao Bing is his only friend, who he hopes can attend the party. Niza comes to the seashore to call Ao Bing, without noticing that something seems to be bothering his friend. Of course Ao Bing is bothered, for the Dragon King gave him a task, killing Niza at his birthday party and gaining the trust of the people, which is the only hope for Dragon's freedom. Ao Bing is overwhelmed by this task. On the birthday, Niza is trying on new clothes happily. However, Shin comes in and tells Niza that he is not a savior at all, but the reincarnation of the demon pill. After knowing the truth, Niza comes to the party to question his father angrily why he made a lie, and then lifts the seal of Quinkon Hoop with a spell given by Shen. Without the seal, Niza instantly loses his mind, becoming a devil who even tires to kill his father. Now only Quinkon Hoop can stop Niza, but it was taken away by Shen, who is standing on the faraway mountain with Ao Bing watching the battle. Having a kind heart, Ao Bing cannot bear to watch innocent people die, so he takes Quinkon Hoop from Shen to seal Niza again and save Niza's parents. Although Niza comes back to his senses, he still feels deeply deceived and leaves angrily. At the same time, Jing detects a special scent on Ao Bing and tears off his clothes. At the moment when Ao Bing shows his horns, everything is clear. People finally know that it is Dragon and Shen who makes Na Za a demon. Under the accusations of all the investigation of Shen, Ao Bing cannot take it anymore. He angrily leads the water from the sea to the sky of the town and then freezes it. He plans to bury all people alive. Jing and his wife want to stop him, but they are no match for him at all. Just then, a flaming meteor flashes across the sky. It is Niza. It turns out that the flaming chariot has told him the truth. When Jing and Taya went to heaven, they learned from the guard that although the curse cannot be broken, the death of a loved one can exchange for Niza's life by the transplant spell. In order to keep Niza alive, Jing decides to sacrifice himself. Niza is moved and returns to the battlefield. This time, he will fight for his parents and the people in town. But Niza's power is sealed by Quinkon Hoop, so he is no match for Ao Bing. Therefore, he chooses to outwit and plays tricks on Ao Bing. Without much time left, Ao Bing becomes impatient and turns into a dragon to smash the ice. Seeing that the whole town is going to be buried, Niza has to free his all power. This time, he uses the Quinkon Hoop to contain his demonic nature. However, this still doesn't work. Seeing that the ice is getting lower and lower, Albing tries to persuade him to give up. Will Nizza give up? Absolutely not. He has been fighting against the unfair fate all his life, so he believes that no one but himself is the master of his destiny. Inspired by spiritual strength, Nizza bursts out great power. 6 arms grow out of his back, and the flames from his body evaporate the ice. Albing realizes that his time is gone and wants to escape. The next second, a fire-tipped spear comes only a few centimeters before his eyes, but Nizza doesn't stab, for Albing is his only friend. At this moment, thunder begins to come in the sky, which is the heaven-made curse sent by the supreme lord of the demon pill, and means that Nizza's life is coming to the end. Nizza is doomed not to survive his 3rd birthday. He burns the transplant spell given by his father and says goodbye to his parents. Then Nizza flies into the sky calmly to meet the lightning bolt. But the next second, Albing also rushes into the lightning bolt, fighting against it with Nizza. At this moment, Albing is no longer the son of the Dragon King, nor is he shouldering the mission of freeing dragons. Now, he is just the only friend of Nizza. Although the energy bursts out of their body is small, they bravely fight against the lightning bolt. However, it doesn't last long, and they are going to be swallowed by the lightning bolt. At this moment, Taya summons the multicolor lotus, and when the lightning and the lotus collide, heaven and earth suddenly become endlessly white. At the end of the film, Nizza and Albing's souls are kept because of the lotus. The people in town also change their views towards Nizza, kneeling on the ground and thanking Nizza for everything he has done for them. When you face the injustice of fate and the doubts from others next time, hope the story of Nizza can inspire you.